Hi, my name's Anna. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will share with you the steps needed to become an architect in the UK and what it's like being a qualified architect. Hit it. Okay, let's do this. No matter which country you're in, there's things that you can do in preparation for your architecture degrees when applying to university. You can start to build a portfolio of sketch and computer work either created at school or during your free time. Architects are expected to have a variety of skills developed over many years. I'm about to list a couple that will be useful for you to think about when applying to university. Attention to detail. Analytical thinking, so problem solving, very important. Excellent verbal and visual communication, so being able to present your work verbally and then also with the boards or visuals that you have around you during presentations. Having knowledge of the building and construction industry. Also software skills, amongst many other skills that architects need to have. You can learn all of these over time, but if you have any of them that you can show experience for before applying for an architecture degree, by all means, show them. Show them in your interview, show them in your portfolio, and talk about them. If you can get any work experience at an architecture, engineering, or design company over the weekend, half term, winter break, summer, you should take advantage of that. Start to network with family friends who may be willing to support you. Architecture education has changed and evolved over the years from a one-to-one apprenticeship to universities nowadays, but they've also brought back apprenticeships recently, so you can look into those as well. So you might be able to tell from my accent that I'm from America, but I did all of my architecture education and almost all of my architecture experience in the UK. Even with that, I think many sentiments in this video will be applicable to people in other countries and other architecture courses. It takes a minimum of 7 years to become an architect in the UK, so let's start from the beginning with the undergraduate course, which goes by several names. The RIBA Part 1 course, which usually takes the form of a BA or BSc, so a Bachelor's of Arts, or a Bachelor of Science degree. As a full-time course, it takes 3 years. Now that you've been accepted into your bachelor's degree program, you can also do work experience during your winter and summer holidays if you get the chance. This doesn't necessarily need to count towards your end qualification of 24 months work experience, but if you want it to, you need to do at least 20 hours per week to record it for your PEDRs. For example, after the first year of my bachelor's degree, I flew to Japan and worked at Toyo Ito and Associate Architects in Shibuya, Tokyo over the summer, and it was really an amazing experience, and I got to learn so much, and I'm so honored that that was my first architecture job. During the summer, after my second year of my bachelor's degree, I worked at Foster & Partners in London. They have a world-class model-making facility, and I even got to work on international large-scale projects, which was fantastic. Despite these accomplishments with my work experience, I still found my degrees to be a constant struggle. Becoming an architect is a big commitment over a long period of time, but there's room for flexibility and deviation along the way. Having a bachelor's degree in architecture can be a great door into a bunch of other creative design fields if you find that becoming an architect isn't a good fit for you. So it's worth a shot if you're thinking about it. You'll learn a lot and you'll discover many things about yourself along the way. Assuming you're still gung-ho, next is the year out, which is around 12 months work experience after your bachelor's degree. I've heard of some people doing 3 months work experience as a Part 1 architectural assistant after their bachelor's degree, and I've heard of people doing several years of experience in between their bachelor's and master's degree. So it's entirely up to you and whatever fits best with your life. During this time, you will need to fill out PEDRs, which are Professional Experience Development Records. These are quarterly record sheets that need to be filled out and sent off every 3 months. You need a minimum of 24 months recorded work experience to become a qualified architect in the UK, and doing PDRs for several years was so much effort. Best advice, do them on time and get them signed off by your office mentor and PSA as soon as possible. PSA being your professional studies advisor, also known as a mysterious person from your university that you never meet but pay around £50 to £100 every 3 months for a signature. During your year out, you can apply to do your RIBA Part 2 postgraduate course. Generally a master's degree or an M.Arch, which is the Masters of Architecture, adding on another 2 years. This process can take more than 2 years if you're doing the course part-time, which can be a lot better balance for some individuals. My master's degree took more than 2 years, but that's for another reason. I've been through a lot of failure and struggle during my architecture education, and the last 10 years have honestly been some of the hardest, most challenging years of my life. I got rejected from half a dozen universities that I applied to. I failed my bachelor's degree and had to repeat a year. I failed again in my master's degree and had to repeat a year. And I thought this pattern of failure would go on forever. But each time I failed, I grew, and used each failure as an opportunity to learn and become more compassionate and resilient. I'm not embarrassed by my failure, and if you're going through something similar, you shouldn't be embarrassed either. Self-belief is everything, and it will be a constant light for you even on the darkest of days. Failure is not a sign of weakness. It's what you choose to do with that failure that shows your true character. To quote national treasure and Thomas Edison, I didn't fail. I found out 2,000 ways how not to make a light bulb. My experiences have made me stronger, and now I know I can pick myself up and dust myself off when things go wrong. With that knowledge, I have the freedom to take more chances in life because no matter what, I'll be okay. And so will you. If you're interested in learning more about the architectural education system in England, then check out this video, out next week. Trigger warning for those of you still recovering. Yay! So you finally graduated from your master's degree. It's been at least 6 years since you started, or 9 years in my case, and you're finally done! Just kidding!
Okay. Meanwhile.
Next step, get some more work experience, now as a Part 2 architectural assistant. You will need to continue filling out PEDRs, which are even more important as a Part 2. Then when you feel confident and ready, apply to do a Part 3 course, which is basically an advanced diploma about professional practice in architecture. Depending on your Part 3 course, you may need to do a case study, which will be a project that you're working on at your practice while you work full-time and do your Part 3 course part-time. The university I went to didn't require a case study, so I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to do one, but then also kind of relieved that I didn't have that extra bulk of work. When you're doing your Part 3, it can be a challenge to balance your full-time work and doing a course on the side. I am creating another video about how to work multiple jobs, which is also relevant and applicable to working one job and also a course on the side. You need to learn about balance, time management, how to avoid burnout, and how to accelerate gaining knowledge and focus learning. Depending on the course that you choose for your Part 3, they may do coursework or exams or a combination of the two, so try and find a course that suits you best. I know that Kingston in London is almost entirely coursework based, plus the interview, whereas the Architectural Association in London is almost entirely exam based. So find a course that fits you the best. Then at the very end, after your bachelor's degree, after your master's degree, after your 24 months of work experience, and after your Part 3 course, there is the interview. Dun dun dun! This is the moment you've all been waiting for. All of those years of blood, sweat, and tear have come down to this, so strap in and get ready. The Part 3 was actually my favorite of the 3 courses and the only one that I would happily do again. I finally qualified as an architect in 2020 at long last after 10 years of all-nighters, portfolios, crits, mental breakdowns, endless meal deals, and lifelong friendships sewn together by shared stress solidarity. A massive pro now is that I can finally call myself an architect. As you can see from my channel title, I took full advantage of that freedom. Before, I was afraid to even whisper underneath my breath, it felt so wrong. All jokes aside, it's a huge responsibility to hold the title of architect, and I'm truly honored I can finally call myself an architect. I was so excited to receive this poster from the RABA about 6 months after I qualified. It has some fancy writing on it. I'll just read you a snippet. And for promoting and facilitating the acquirement of the knowledge of various arts and sciences connected therewith, in witness whereof the common seal has been hereunto affixed by authority of the council on the 16th day of July, 2020. Are you doing a degree in architecture? Are you a qualified architect? Share your experiences below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's come together and build a positive community of architecture professionals that can support and motivate one another. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe for more content, and check out How to Become an Architect Part 2 to find out what comes after qualification. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, and have a great day. See you soon.